Well, howdy there, folks. So AMC stock, oh boy. We're going to get into this tonight, okay? We're going to talk about AMC. I posted on the last video, I asked a question. I said, do you guys want me to do a video about AMC stock? And I think I got about 85 million comments saying do a video about AMC stock. So we're going to talk about AMC stock in this video. We're going to talk about it as a play, okay? Now, what we're not going to talk about in this video is AMC's fundamentals, okay? Because let's be completely honest, the fundamentals of the business are not what is the story when it comes to AMC stock or GameStop or any of these stocks that are the plays right now that everybody's getting in, right? It's really based upon trader momentum and things like that. So that's really what we're going to be talking about. So if you think we're going to get into AMC's gross margins, no, okay, that's not happening, and that's not literally there's not a soul on this planet who's buying AMC stock based upon because there's literally nothing there. There's literally nothing there, okay? So we're going to get into AMC stock. We'll talk about this a bit, okay? I'll share my perspective on this, and let's kind of start out here. So first thing I want to talk about here is actually I want to bring up a stock from the past, Tilray. Now, the reason I think this is important to talk about Tilray at the beginning of this video is because actually a lot of people have just gotten in the market in the past year or so. So they don't really have much historical context around the market. And this is not even a super long ago historical artifact. But if you didn't know, a few years ago, MJ stocks were the play, okay? Jack Jackson. My audience will know Jack Jackson. Anybody that's not from my audience, you probably have no clue what Jack Jackson is, okay? And you just have to guess, okay? But needless to say, MJ plays, Jack Jackson plays were the play a few years ago. The hype was around them, and there was a lot of people short those shares, and those stocks went crazy based upon hype and based upon massive short squeezes, including Tilray. I think short sellers lost like $600 million or something shorting Tilray stock. This is not even the high for Tilray, okay? This just shows you what it was on September 2018, okay? The intraday high one day for Tilray, I still remember it because I did a video on it, and I said this is the biggest bubble I ever seen in the stock market, okay? The intraday high for Tilray one day was $300 per share. And it went to $300 per share, okay? They've diluted shareholder value probably 100 times in that company, and the stock's still only $18 here today, okay? I just want to show you guys that so you don't think like this, what's going on in GameStop, what's going on in AMC is new. It's just way bigger than it was before, okay? Because back then we didn't have nearly as many retail investors in the market, okay? I mean, we go back to those days. I mean, those days, I would post, YouTube videos and they might get 10,000, 15,000 views or something like that. Nowadays, I post a YouTube video on the main channel or second channel. A lot of times they're over 100,000, okay? And I'm just one person in the stock market space. There's tons of people now that are getting tens of thousands of views, if not 100,000 views per video. So the amount of retail investors, the amount of people on Robinhood app and Webull and these different stock market apps, you can't even compare it. And so that's why things like GameStop, AMC, you're seeing it way bigger, but I just want to let people know, like, this is not new to the stock market. It's just on a new level. It's getting covered by all the big media outlets. You're seeing it on CNBC. You're seeing it everywhere. And so now it's like mainstream. You're seeing it on all these different meme pages and things like that. But everybody's wondering, is AMC stock the next GameStop stock, okay? So obviously AMC had a massive day today, and that's massive isn't even the right word to use. I mean, usually I refer to a massive day for a stock as being a day the stock was up 15%. That's massive. This is just like you can't even wrap your head around it. It's up over 300% today. Look at the stock chart. I mean, it just absolutely took off. Crazy, okay? Now, why has GameStop worked so well as a play? Once again, we're not talking about fundamentals of these companies, but we're talking about just why has GameStop worked as a play, okay? Well, obviously, You've had a ton of people want to rally around this stock, right? Because they want to take down the short sellers. That's a big part of it. You've had a massive short interest on that stock. Ton of short sellers that were very vocal about GameStop and were willing to hold on. And supposedly a lot of them covered. Some people don't believe that those folks covered. Who knows, okay? That's not really, we're not going to debate that, whether they're lying or whether they're telling the truth, because we don't know, okay? But needless to say, a lot have probably covered. You don't get the stock to go up like that unless a ton of short sellers are covering. That's not just from strictly buying the stock. I can tell you that. That's not just people on Robinhood saying, I want to go buy GameStop stock today, okay? That was massive short squeeze in GameStop stock today. And those folks covered and covered and covered. And so even though some people actually took profits on GameStop today, the stock still had a massive day because, I mean, when you're talking about a stock that's that heavily shorted, a lot of people want to try to reshort, and then they have to keep covering those shorts. Boom, boom, boom. The stock just keeps going up. Now, it also worked because GameStop has a little something to go off of on a fundamental basis, okay? A little something. You have PS5 coming out, right? Well, it has come out now, and it's obviously, selling pretty well from every person's understanding, right? And PS5, the new Xbox, there's a lot of excitement around video games and reviving GameStop, okay? So there is a little bit there as far as GameStop, as far as recovery and, the rewards program and getting more people. There's a little something there, okay? It's not like there's nothing there. And I think that's an important factor. And also, this is the first stock that this has really been huge with, and so the market cap's just absolutely gone through the roof, okay? And so you have a lot of things at play here, and you have short sellers who got caught with their pants down. They weren't prepared for this. The short sellers were not prepared for this, okay? 100%, okay? Kind of like retail investors, for the most part, were not prepared for what happened in February and March when a once-in-a-100-year Roni Run event came out of nowhere and the market dropped the fastest it had ever dropped literally in history. It fell 35% in 22 days. Retail investors weren't ready for that, and hedge fund managers and short sellers were not ready for what was about to happen in GameStop stock. Who could have seen it, okay? So that's why I think GameStop has worked so well. And it's important to understand that for context if we're trying to judge AMC here, okay? So AMC is trading at about $20 a share, okay? Now, first off, that is a higher price than AMC stock was before Roni Rona came, okay? So when AMC, their movie theaters were, they probably were never packed, okay? But when their movie theaters were actually up and running and people were actually still going to the movies and actually cared about going to the movies, this was a stock that was usually $10, $15 a share. You can look at the chart in the past, okay? Now, they've diluted shareholder value a ton of times along the way since then and things like that. And the stock is $20 here today, okay? It's trading at about $7 billion market cap, okay? Now, do we have anything to go off of for the underlying business of AMC? Remember, there was a glimmer of hope with GameStop about PS5, Xbox. A lot of people are going to want to buy those games and the game systems, and maybe they'll buy from GameStop. Do we have anything at AMC? Is there really a big belief out there that everybody's going to go back to the movie theaters and get $20 popcorn again and oh darn, I miss going to the movie theater so much. That was so much fun. I haven't met anybody in my life who's actually talking like that, okay? Whether there's anything there on the grounds, and we're watching the movie theater or the movie industry actually prefer, because it's better for their business, to actually a lot of times go straight to one of these, HBO, or maybe straight to Netflix, or maybe straight to their own service or things like that. And remember, Disney has kind of a monopoly share on a lot of things. So, I can tell you that the fundamental case for AMC is a hard case to make, okay? Now, also, what I think happened here with AMC is I think there was a massive, gargantuan, unprecedented short squeeze today, okay? And so, essentially what happened here with AMC is shorts, let's be very specific, shorts saw what was going on with GameStop and crapped their pants today, to put politically correct, okay? They crapped their pants. They saw what happened there and they're like, oh my gosh, so what am I going to do? Cover that short, buy those shares, okay? Because they're looking at this and they just watched GameStop go from a few $100 million market cap to almost $25 billion, okay? I think today was actually, at one point today, was trading over $25 billion. And these shorts are looking at this and they're saying, I could get out today at whatever price they were getting at, whether it was $4 billion market cap, $5 billion, or maybe they got out at $6 or $7 billion market cap. They could get out now, or they could risk that stock going to $10 billion, $15 billion, $20 billion, $25 billion, and losing, putting their funds under, or just losing such a ridiculous amount of money it's hard to even fathom that it would take years and years and years and years and years and years to get back. So I think the massive short squeeze in AMC has already happened. It doesn't mean there can't be another one, and it doesn't mean some shorts will, some shorts aren't the smartest. First off, to go short stocks, you're not the smartest in my opinion, because there's so much more money to be made going long stocks than short stocks. It's ridiculous, okay? But some shorts could reshort this, okay? And if they reshort and it starts going up again, another short squeeze is coming, right? And so that's a whole situation. So when it comes to a stock like AMC, and the way to kind of look at this is, could it be the next GameStop? It is possible. I don't think this one has nearly as strong of a case, and I don't think this one's going to have nearly the cult following behind it as GameStop did. I think there are going to be a lot of people buying this over the coming days, and even if it goes down big tomorrow, I think there will be a lot of people buying it in hopes that this market cap's going to go to a GameStop, a $25 billion, okay? Now, one of the factors to keep in mind here, if you're thinking about playing this, okay, is what happens if GameStop starts to fall? And everybody's been putting it out there, $1,000 for GameStop, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000. I've seen it everywhere. The comment section, I've seen it on Wall Street Bets. I obviously have seen it on the conversations tab. I've seen it everywhere, okay? What happens if GameStop doesn't reach 1,000? What happens if today's the peak? Maybe it's not. Maybe it goes to 1,000. No one really knows. But what happens if it has peaked? How much confidence does that give AMC shareholders that it's going to go to such and such price? If they just saw everybody being very vocal about this is going to 1,000 and then it tops at 340. Then you're in a situation with AMC, there's not going to be nearly as much confidence, okay? Similar to like a short side, right? When that guy from Citron Research recently, he's like, what did he say? He said something around like, the stock's going to $20, right? Last week, it didn't go to $20. It went to $3.50 or whatever it's at now, right? That didn't happen. So if we're looking at AMC, I think it's actually a much more risky play than GameStop was. It doesn't mean it can't work. You never really know. If it gets enough momentum and enough people decide to just buy and hold it, and it just the buyers keep pouring in, and the shorts have to keep covering, and the shorts aren't smart, and they try to reshort this, which is possible, and they have to keep covering. You never really know. But I look at this one from a trader standpoint, because once again, we're not judging off fundamentals, but from a trader standpoint, it's not nearly as attractive as GameStop was, as just a potential So will I be playing it? No, I'm trying to stay out of all of these so I can just do these videos and stay unbiased in this whole situation, because the minute I start buying that, I'm going to start pumping it. But anyways, yeah, so I'm trying to stay unbiased in this whole situation. And I just think this one's a lot more risky than GameStop was. I really do. Because you have many different factors. And then, we just saw Wall Street Bets get taken down Discord. We saw Wall Street Bets get privatized for a little bit on Reddit. We don't know what's going to happen there. We don't know if Reddit can come after them. We don't know, there's a lot up in the air, and there's a lot of attention on this whole situation right now. The world's pretty much watching this right now. This is I'm watching it trending on Twitter. I'm watching people that have no business talking about stocks. I'm watching them talk about this right now. Everybody's watching this. And so, I think this one's risky. Like I said, you never really know. It's at $6.7 billion. GameStop went to $25 billion. And maybe some folks feel like GameStop's still going. I don't know. All I know is this one is not nearly as attractive from a trading standpoint as GameStop was. People know what's coming now. People had no clue. This was like D-Day invasion, okay? This was D-Day invasion. People know what's about to happen. And people knows what's going on. That's why you got 300% move today. People were like, I'm getting out of this. I don't care. I don't care if I want to be short. I don't want to be short anymore, okay? So, and we'll get to see short numbers updated later on. A lot of times they're not updated right away. A lot of people looking at short interest that was, posted a week ago or weeks ago. A lot of times it's not updated accurately for quite a while. So we'll never really know. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy this as always. That's my 2 cents on this. If you don't mind, smash that thumbs up button before you leave. Never forget to smash. And leave me a comment on what your plans are. Anyways, guys, I'll keep covering this. This is crazy stuff going on in the market, man. Peace.